Hey, what's up, Facebook? I'm so glad that you found my page. This is the first video of the stress series that I'll be doing, and today we're going to talk about how stress affects your physical body. If you don't already know me, my name is Kara Cates. I'm a corrective exercise specialist and biofeedback tech, and I help stressed out fitness junkies break free from pain and anxiety so they can return to doing what they love. So today we're going to talk about the stress response in your body and how it affects you physically. So most of us know or are familiar with what we call the fight or flight system. And the fight or flight mode is basically designed as a primal instinct to help keep us alive. So we're going to talk a little bit science first, and then I'll talk about how it's going to relate to you immediately afterwards. So the first thing that happens is our autonomic nervous system kicks on. Autonomic nervous system signals the sympathetic nervous system. I like to think of the sympathetic nervous system as the bad nervous system because for me, for many years, it was. So the sympathetic nervous system will signal what we call the HPA axis. So the HPA axis is made up of your hypothalamus, your pituitary gland, and your adrenal glands. Now, most people are familiar with adrenal glands because of adrenal failure or adrenal fatigue, and we'll touch on that in the later video. But first, the hypothalamus is going to release a hormone called CRF. CRF then signals the pituitary gland, which releases another stress hormone called ACTH. ACTH then signals the adrenal glands to stimulate cortisol. Cortisol is basically what everybody knows as the stress hormone. This is what can cause weight gain around our abdomen. This is what most people try to regulate, or this is what they test when they're testing you for stress levels. But at the same time as the adrenals releasing cortisol, the hypothalamus will signal the medulla to actually release adrenaline and noradrenaline, or epinephrine and norepinephrine. Now, this is a typical stress response. This is designed to keep us alive. Like I said, it's a primal instinct. So if we're driving along on the highway and we get cut off and all of a sudden, let's just say we don't get in a car accident, but all of a sudden we switch lanes. Unfortunately, there's no one next to us, and we feel our heart rate start to increase. Maybe we get a little lightheaded. We get maybe anxious, and that's the stress response. And then as you continue driving, that should calm down. Your parasympathetic nervous system brings you back out of it. All of your systems resume. But what most people don't understand is that there are small things, not just almost getting in a car accident, that can affect our sympathetic nervous system as well, such as fighting with a spouse, getting bad news, almost getting in a car accident, being fearful of passing a test, worry, anxiety, fears. All of these things create a stress response inside our body. So we're going to go more into this and how it affects your body physically next video, which is going to be the second video. But what I want you to do right now is I want you to try to just take a mental note of all the stressors in your life. So you can write them down on paper if you want to, but I want you to make a mental note of how many times you experience a stress response throughout your day. For me, I know my life gets pretty crazy. Right when I wake up, I've got kids I gotta, make lunch for, get dressed, feed, gotta get myself dressed, and it's pretty crazy from about 6:30 until the time I get to work at 9 o'clock. My job is perfect, everything's calm, but then I rush home, I pick up the kids, it's homework, it's dinner, it's bath time, it's craziness. So there's a lot of stress response throughout your day, but how you handle it and how you perceive it is what really makes a difference. So I just want you to pay attention throughout the day how many times you experience what we call a stress response. And I want to see, let's just do a number. Let's say, shoot me a message of how many times you experienced stress for that day, because I want you to become aware of, it doesn't have to be, the death or the loss of a family member that stresses you out. It can be something small. So just go ahead and make a mental note, and I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say.